Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. Now, today I'm finally getting around to doing another needle and the nail. It's been, I think maybe 6, 7 months, if not more. But this time, I've got Funkadelic Maggot Brain. And this record, I've had it in my collection for past few years, as you would have told, because I've had it over there for a while, as DJ Fresh, Apathetic Age. I still need to listen to that as well, but that was here. And if I get it, because I was going to listen to DJ Fresh and then Funkadelic. It was at a time where obviously I had my idea of how I wanted to do it, but then, as I mentioned in my other video, that put a little pressure on me. So I'm just, flowing with the vibe, see where it takes me, and then I'll pick a record. So, but today it's Funkadelic. Now, also, I know nothing about this. The only thing I do know, what did I just say? Okay, so the only thing I do know is that Childish Gambino's Awaken My Love record was heavily influenced by this. So yeah, I want to see what it's saying. So we'll have a look inside. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tracks. But the first one's 10 minutes. Oh, there's a thing on here as well. If basically there's a little section here. I will read it. Whether I keep it in this, I don't know. But fear is at the root of man's destruction of himself. Without fear, there is no blame. Without blame, there is no conflict. Without conflict, there is no destruction. But there is fear. Deep within the core of every human being, it lurks like a monster. A dark and intangible. Its outward effects are unmistakable. Its source is hidden. So, sorry, the reason I'm smiling, hold on. It's hot today. So obviously, they're talking about ego, but ego in the sense of the Greek translated word, that translates to I. So I, me, my, me. Anytime you self-identify with the self-thought, or to any positions, anything like that. And it's crazy as well that it started off the theories at the root of man's. I've been developing a framework myself called ROOT, which stands for Recognize, Observe, Own and Train, and it's to deal with conditioned stress responses. So I feel like this is going to be very influential as well. But let's see what else this is saying. It can be seen on one level in furtive embarrassment, argumentative protest, social veneer, and miserable isolation. It can be seen on another level in the mammoth build-up of war machines in every corner of the world. It can be seen in the fantasy of world of escapism, known as an entertainment. It can be seen in the riot-torn streets and campuses. It can be seen in the squalor of ghettos and pretentious elegance of civilized society. It can be seen in the desperate rat race of commerce and industry, the sensual slandering of the press, the constant backbiting of the political arena, and the lost world of helpless junkie who has passed beyond the point of no return. Because when it comes to going beyond the point of no return, obviously from where I'm at, I'm assuming they're talking about, when you, because once you have the awakening, you see things as for what they are, and you just accept life as this, and that life comes from you, not at you. It really, you just can't, there's no point of return. I mean, there can be, obviously, if your ego is still strong, it can, because the only thing that's keeping you from awakening is yourself, is your ego. The light-lipped suppression of the rigid moralist reflects it, as so does the violent protest of anarchists. but more starkly and tragically than anywhere else it manifests. Oh, hold on, my mic is fucking falling off of here. Out of all the days, I decided to do this when it's like fucking 35 degrees. Hold on, bear with me. But to a greater or lesser degree and manifesting one way or another, all human beings are afraid. And some of us are so afraid that we dare not to show our fear. Sometimes we dare not to even know our fear, for fear itself is a terrifying concept to behold. We may confess to being afraid of violence and pain, even ghosts, and with such obvious terrors pigeonhole our fear to our own satisfaction. But fear of people, fear of ourselves, fear of failure, fear of loss, fear of our closest friends, fear of isolation, fear of contact, fear of loneliness, fear of involvement, fear of rejection, fear of commitment, fear of sickness, fear of deprivation, fear of intensity, fear of inadequacy, fear of emotion, fear of God, fear of knowledge, fear of death, fear of responsibility, fear of sin, fear of virtue, fear of guilt, fear of punishment, fear of damnation, fear of the consequences of our actions, and fear of our own fear. How many of us recognize the presence in ourselves of these? And if some of us recognize some of them, we are prepared to see the full extent of them. Do we know just how afraid we are? And do we know the effect that our fear has on our own lives? Do we know how completely we are governed by our fear? And do we know that the world is governed by the sum total of every human being's fear, and ours is not excluded? Do we know the extent to which we are at the odds with one another, despite some promising appearances, simply through fear of another? Do we the extent to which we are at war with one another, on every level from personal to worldwide, because we are afraid? And do we know that wars and rumours of wars mount up in ascending spiral of violence and potential violence, as the fear in the hearts of men intensifies? Do we know the strife of every kind increases as hatred, resentment, jealousy, and prejudice increase, and all that of this stem from one thing only, fear? And do we know that one thing only ensures the escalation of spiral of violence and destruction of our own unwillingness to recognize the full extent of our fear and its effects of fear, our fear of fear? For each and every one of us, as long as he is afraid and unwilling to see the full clarity, his fear for what it is contributes to the crippling conflict that has become the hallmark of this world of ours. And as long as there is fear, together with unwillingness to see it clearly and completely, as long as human beings are afraid, and also fail to recognize the fact in their need to isolate themselves, in their outbursts of anger and irritation, for revenge, in their guilt, in their confusion, in their uncertainty, in their disappointment, in their anxiety about the future and their wish to forget the past, in the need to blame others and justify themselves. Because this is it. Like, so I'm not finished yet, but that's what I'm trying to teach as well. It's like blame, anger, resentment, that only produces chemicals in your body, and it produces chemicals in your body for stress, because the other person is obviously influenced to feel a certain way, but when you blame and project, you're only doing damage to yourself. In their sense of helplessness and despair, in the revulsion and disgust, in the need to be vicious and spiteful, in the lack of confidence, in the tendency to boast and protest their superiority, in their failure to respond, in the sense of inadequacy, in their feelings of envy, in the futility, in the misery, and in the scorn, as then they will fail to see their part in the relentless tide of hatred and violence, destruction and devastation that sweeps the earth, and the tide will not ebb until all is destroyed. That's the thing, ego is going to kill us all, which in essence is us killing ourselves. Now, the record itself looks nice, as they all do. I'll put it here. I just want to say as well, like, when it comes to, because it's mad as well that I'm listening to this today, because I just thought to myself, I want to listen to a vinyl record, but I want to chill. But then, literally this morning, I finished the final chapter of my second reread of Laws of Human Nature by Robert Greene, and you know, it's all going off today. Right. What was I saying? Yeah, and I would. It really obviously portrays what I've just read on here, and what I've been really studying for the past like 3 years. Just killing the ego, healing, and yeah, just knowing that I am, and that's it. There's no need to be, I'm this, I'm that, or I have this, I have that. It's just, yeah, happiness and true joy can only come from you within. So yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to listening to this album. And I feel like I'm ready after reading the book. Obviously not a book, but it just felt like it's quite a long intro, but it really portrayed what it is saying. And it gives me a little bit of an insight of what, I not can expect from this album, but that it's going to be very influential, maybe even spiritual, who knows. So let's start.
Mother Earth is pregnant for the third time, for y'all have knocked her up. I have tasted the maggots in the mind of the universe. I was not offended, for I knew I had to rise above it all, or drown in my own shit.
Already see like why, how Charles Gambino has this has influenced Charles Gambino's Awaken My Love. Christopher Chuck already done. That was the quickest 10 minutes of my life. It's not even the second track now. I don't even know. Now, what do you mean? Why is the first side over with? I'm not having this. Oh, sick record. So far, anyway. When did this record come out? Or I'm just doing some research. Okay, so Maggot Brain is the third studio album by the American funk rock band Funkadelic, released in July 1971. Crazy. Produced by George Clinton, the album is known for its unique blend of funk, soul, blues, and avant-garde experimentation. The title track, Maggot Brain, features a famous guitar solo by Eddie Hazel, which he recorded in one take. Shit. And it's often described as a psychedelic odyssey. The album has a lasting impact on music, and it's celebrated for innovative sound and emotional depth. And yeah, this album is slapping so far, left, right, and centre. And being that it released in 1971, like, we have truly, well, me personally, but obviously you're with me here, so we have truly time travelled. And this is the only time where we can't really time travel, because obviously time is just a concept. Time has been made by humans as a coping mechanism. Look, think about it. It's like, oh, next week I'm going on holiday, so you look, it's not that you can't look forward to things, but yeah, time is just a concept, because it's not like the past doesn't exist, because the past shaped you into who you are today, but you can't go back into the past. Like, it's just a form concept in your mind that you can't just time travel. But obviously with music, we sort of can, which is nice. And to be honest, like, given the fact that this record released in 1971, it feels absolutely timeless. Like, straight away, I love this album. And also, I've already said it, obviously at the start, but that was just from the first song. But I can really see how Awaken My Love was influenced by this, and I'm glad it was, because yeah, both of the albums, Awaken My Love and this one, just sensational. And I've still got side 2 to go. don't know much about instruments in general and like different, you know, chords and all of that stuff, but what I do know is when the song hits, it fucking hits. Now, but you can only have true freedom when your mind is free. What a record. Honestly, that was an experience. Yeah, I've really enjoyed that. I feel like there could have been a little bit more. There always could be a little bit more, but that's obviously the ego in me coming out, wanting more, never satisfied with itself. But no, I am genuinely satisfied with this album. It was a really good project. like the mixture between the sounds, the melodies, all the instruments, like it just, yeah, it slapped. It was a sick album. It kind of also reminded me of the first ever because initially it was I was calling it Vinyl Wednesdays, and the first one was Amazon Play Santana. So he gave me. Hold on, when did this album come out? 1973, so 2 years after Maggot Brain. Just really just does show how much they've influenced music. Sick. And obviously that said as well, I believe that was their third project. Yes, the third album. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out their other projects at some point as well. And I'm not sure if I said it in my intro when I grabbed Robert Greene's Laws of Human Nature, but I would definitely recommend it in terms of just learning about people and then also learning more about yourself. Like, it's, for me personally, it's done wonders. Like, it's, gave me a lot of clarity. And obviously, because there was a chapter as well on was it Dark Shadow? Chapter 9, Confront Your Dark Side, and then followed by Chapter 10, Beware of the Fragile Ego. But that technically also is fear as well, ego, because you obviously, when there's ego in terms of self-identification, you always fear of losing things. You fear of losing your job, your relationship, money, because you get attached to things. And it's not that you can't have those things, but it's just there doesn't need to be an attachment, because nothing in this world belongs to you or to me. Everything in this world is just temporary, and everything in this world is just an experience. So experience it. Experience life for what it's meant to be. But yeah, I can't recommend this book enough. But I appreciate you for joining me for this experience, and I will see you next time.